Gemini, this is going to be your all things abundance, wealth, riches, money, finance, career, business reading for January 2021. Feel free to like, share, follow across all social media platforms. Leave a comment below if you feel that this resonates. Website link below. Holler for a one-on-one reading. Patreon members get reduced rates and special discounts. The website has different template formatted readings. It's not just the freestyle versions that I provide daily on Instagram or YouTube. So check those out if you're curious. I could do readings live or pre-recorded, over the phone, over Messenger, over text. I'm very flexible and compatible to your preference. Without further ado, Gemini, January 2021, or when you view this, when it resonates, you feel all things wealth, abundance, riches, all that stuff, trying to harmonize, trying to pull in and magnetize our success. It could even be kind of abundance in relationship or abundance in health. It doesn't necessarily have to be restricted to finances, career, and business, but feel free to apply it accordingly as to all things abundance in your life. Despite whatever I end up titling this reading. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Spirit level and the highest possible messages for Gemini, January 2021. Okay, this is new beginnings, new strength, new lifestyle with that lemniscate above the head, Gemini. Having overcome and conquered the lion energy, the bestial kind of lower forces of fear, anxiety, survival. This is moving from survival into thrival, Gemini. So we have to know first and foremost that that's a mind state. It's a mindset. It's a mode that we choose consciously, moment by moment, to exist in, and thus magnetize ourselves for, to continue to compound and build upon. And it's like a snowball effect. Once this gets going, it gets larger and larger and larger, and eventually you're magnetizing and gravitationally kind of pulling in more resources so that you kind of flip and switch from survival mode to thrival mode, Gemini, which is what you want first and foremost. From there on, your consciousness, your mind, your body, even biologically, is starting to flip on different kind of genetic switches, and the rest is history there. But this is just a keen awareness and mindfulness of the fact that, look, I've achieved this level of mastery in some way, shape, or form, and or even if you're just starting on your spiritual path. Eights are about new beginnings. The Empress is all things lovely. She is lauded and applauded. She's grace. She's divine feminine. Taurus, Libra energy. She's steady Eddie. She's balanced and fair-minded, heart and mind. There's a connection there, right? There's a harmony. There's a there's a union between logic and heart here within the Empress, and this leads to her lifestyle. And it's essentially a lifestyle by choice, right? Your mood, your patterns, thought-wise, your emotional reactions to those thoughts. Those are circuitry. So once you break those circuitries, then you create kind of a new space and a new environment. Sometimes we tend to recoil when we kind of create a new or unknown atmosphere. That's when you kind of go back to your mantras, or you go back to your spiritual practices of, love, and, whether it's chanting or humming in the back of your mind, or whatever it is, it's going to help you kind of carve new ground and gain new ground as you trailblaze your own path to success, abundance, harmony, which again is always an inside job, right? On some like spiritual, spatial, meditative states. It starts with the heart, and it builds on there. And logically wise, it starts with choosing love over fear, no matter what, and any of the various incarnations that it's presented in our life, right? Knee-jerk reactions tend to be, fear-based, whereas love is a little bit more slow, a little bit more conscientious. It's more of a response and a reaction, so keep that in mind. Again, to tie that into the Leo lion here, that's all the tendency of survivalism. It's reactionary. It's pulling your hand away from the flame, right? Whereas the Empress represents freedom of will, freedom of volition, right? Grace, gratitude, a grateful heart, wholesomeness, these feelings of wholesome and gratitude and being complete, which is what magnetizes you to attract to you success, right? you see all this Instagram culture and all this mainstream, ideologies of what success is. But little do they know behind the scenes, or little do we know behind their scenes, is that, they have baby mama drama, or they have inner demons, or they have substance abuse. And so, it's like you could throw out the Kardashians or something like that, or whatever example of, an elite, football player, athlete. But, really, truly, the inner work is always going to be the inner work for you as a human being. So you might as well start here and now. And you might as well empower yourself to continue on this path of disciplining your energies, your thoughts, your logics, your reasons, which are inevitably connected to your emotions. And these emotions and these thought limitations, or these thought opportunities that we kind of create for ourselves, what we think is meant for us, is really going to determine whether we stray away from that carousel, from that cradle that we've created for ourselves, which could inevitably be our deathbed, to be blunt. The Empress ventures out with grace. She fears, no evil in any way, shape, or form, and she's literally kind of conquered the beast. But again, this is all metaphor. Strength is less of kind of physical strength and more of inner emotional, spiritual thought alignment, right? We have these elements of thought, logic, reason, and heart to be balanced with the the harmony of wisdom and spirituality. Okay, all of the high priestess. So that's kind of the variables that we're working with here, Gemini, as you continue to consciously create our lives around us. And again, I can't say it enough. It starts with kind of retraining yourself and reprogramming your mind out of destructive patterns or limiting belief systems, so as to kind of break off the beaten path and to venture into something great. And it's in that unknown where all your greatness, your joys, your gifts, and your abundance lies, as symbolized by the golden background here on this 8 of Strength card. Okay, that golden background is a gift, is a blessing from God, from the cosmos, from the universe, and from beyond, from within, really, truly. But the way that this tends to operate is if we kind of deem ourselves finally worthy on our life path, on our spiritual path. But kind of the human conundrum is that you're essentially born from the dark. Through the mud, you grow as a seed that sprouts. And it's in that human process that we kind of harbor or hang on to the mud on the rose leaf petals, and that we use to kind of define ourselves. But the spiritual process is that of freeing yourself again from this kind of survival mode, this thorn on the rose bush mode, to this kind of graceful, almost effortless, in the state of flow type harmony with your reality. And it starts with believing and knowing that it's true and right for you, it's meant for you, and it's possible. Let's see where the cards want to come out. Essentially, to recap that strength card, we're referring to an inner display of strength in all things that I just mentioned. The 8 is a new beginning. It also represents abundance. And that lemniscate above the Empress's head is a lifestyle. The lemniscate is the symbol for infinity. So keep in mind this strength card kind of speaks to being disciplined enough to raise your own vibe and to continuously choose love over fear. Okay, in every way, shape, or form that it presents itself to you in life. So yeah, that's but it's a whole spiritual practice in and of itself. I guess a practical example that I could give you is the media that you're consuming. If it's on Instagram, let's say, and you see an unsavory character, or like an Instagram model, or like a rapper, or or just a sports athlete, or a politician, or whatever's out there, and that immediate kind of karmic dynamic is like essentially the universe at play in like this reflectory state of our biology. that we are as human beings. Meaning, these images that you're kind of seeing on your Instagram, they're going to conjure something up. That's where the training begins. That's where you programming yourself begins, first and foremost, to kind of sit and see with yourself. Why are these reactions emerging, emanating from me? Why are these responses of greed or jealousy or fear or envy or lust even? So that's where our metaphysical spiritual journey kind of hits the road there, is when we sit with these kind of power dynamics that we've kind of given away in our relationships and our social media consumption and our habits and our worries and fears and thought patterns, our habituations. It's a first, we first start with self-awareness, and this is where that begins. And this is kind of going to turn you from survival mode to thrival mode. And I know that sounds kind of intense and hardcore, but it's really truly like a re-understanding of who you are and what you are, and the abundance that you are, the perfect harmony and balance that you are, just by being you. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to kind of stay in your room all day and meditate, but at the same time, the way that we do navigate this modern day and age is by kind of understanding our impulse responses. Why is this image or this person or this interaction conjuring up fear or hatred or envy? And it's in that moment that we could choose, and remember that it's a choice. Our life is a choice. We could choose to, instead of have an aggressive reaction, we could choose peace. Instead of being fearful, we could choose love, right? So the spiritual journey is a conscientious one that kind of self-empowers along the way. So that's what I believe that strength card is speaking to. Okay. Next up, Spirit 11 Light, highest possible card for Gemini. Maps and navigation, Page of Wands. So again, more fire energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. It's in this understanding of your capabilities to, zig or zag or choose your own adventure, or kind of complete this level of your life and, get over this barrier or this circuitry that has you repeating the same things day in and day out. It's in this understanding that you can kind of self-actualize and realize the power of navigation. Again, it could be spatially as much as it is externally in the real world, but the maps and navigation card speaks to a youthful exuberance and enthusiasm. Your heart is dead set on life. Your heart is dead set on living and falling in love with life again, essentially, with this Page of Wands here. And it's because you've found out who you are and what you're really truly capable of. You've self-empowered and taken all your power back. The only thing that the devil could do, or the only thing that anyone, I should say, to not be so intense by saying the devil, but the only thing that anyone or anything could ever do is kind of fool you into thinking that you're not as powerful as you truly are, as your birthright would have it so that you truly are. Meaning a human being is a co-creator of their own reality, right? And if you're fortunate enough to have developed this understanding and awareness, then yes, you're going to want to pass on the message. You're going to want to create the best life for you and yours. And it starts with those thought responses that you have in your mindset, and which kind of triggers an emotional reaction, and then ends up kind of setting off a whole course of actions hereunto. From thence on, Gemini. So let's see what other cards we have. Ace of Wands in the upright. So yeah, this is kind of feeding off of the Page of Wands energy. Again, a lot of fire in your chart. Aries, Leo, Sag energy, Wand energy. This is more kind of unbridled passion, fire. It could be lust, even if it's channeled in the lower chakra realms and the lower vibrational frequencies. You're being asked to kind of center these energies in the heart chakra and the crown chakra and the eye chakra, the throat chakra. mindful kind of centering of this energy, as opposed to kind of just dabbling in low vibration, right? I'm not saying that your root and your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, are lower vibrational energies. All chakras are required, but there are lower states that we could dwell in and read this Ace of Wands as. So you're being asked to kind of tune into to the higher vibrational state of each of these chakras, depending on where this Ace of Wands is going to hit you, right? Where this enthusiasm is going to hit you. Is it going to be a sex-based Ace of Wands? Is it going to be a passion-based Ace of Wands? Like, where is this going to try to, is it going to tempt you, or is it going to empower you? Is it going to light your fire? And how are you going to channel that energy? Whatever it is, it's energy coming in. So it's like if you turn on the radio, or whatever app you use, it's going to feed you. So something's coming in to feed you, and you're being asked to kind of show that you could handle this firepower based on your previous lessons, Gemini. And it's in this kind of encounter that you're either going to show your expertise, or you're going to have to go back and take a course again in the same lesson, and it'll repeat itself until you kind of pass. That tends to be how life works, right? But again, with this Page of Wands, it's already showing like, hey, look, I'm ready. I'm dead set on living, and I'm dead set on falling in love with life again, and kind of striving for my new endeavors and passions. Okay, some Queen of Wands energy in the reverse. So this is going to be some possible jealousy, greed, envy energy surrounding you. Best not to dwell in that energy or give it a response. I mean, what can you do if others are hating on you, or others are, trying to stop you or slow you down? All you could really do is just focus on yourself, focus on you and yours. Not in a spiteful way, but in a way that says, hey, look, I'm not going to dwell in that lower frequency vibe. I'm going to kind of do things in a way that's aligned on my spiritual path and purpose, so I could do good for myself and those around me. And, kind of when you try to feed and dwell in this energy of greed, envy, jealousy, then you're pretty much just feeding it, and you're kind of tuning more succinctly into that radio station, into that dial tone, which you don't want to do. Let's see, anything else, Spirit of Love and Light, in conclusion for Gemini abundance, January 2021, and or when you come across this. This could be some financial dependency. This could be people wanting to come to you for money, wanting to see that you have your abundance coming in, so they're kind of asking for it. They're asking for you to kind of like throw them a bone. But really, truly, I kind of get the sense that you're going to be able to pick up on their lower vibrational energies from a mile away. So if they're not like vibe, then they're not in your tribe. And, if they're not, you're going to feel it a mile away. So I don't think that you're going to have anything to worry about. It's just kind of warning you maybe that you will come across people that kind of are going to want to be by your warmth and your flame, and to understand that accordingly, continue to look at things as in your favor always, and, pronoia instead of paranoia, and, trust and have faith, but at the same time, that practicality of being no one's fool, Gemini, and, just a day at a time, moment by moment, just realizing that, hey, look, I'm creating my reality moment to moment. So once you do that, those moments add up to days add up to weeks, etc., weeks and months to a year, and then, your lifetime, your legacy, your trajectory. So keep that in mind, and also the fact that it all really does start with what you're choosing to perceive, right? You got to kind of make a conscientious choice to perceive abundance first and foremost, Gemini, and know that there's no cap, there's no limit for you, and whatever defined version of abundance is for you, Gemini. So I'm going to leave it there. Leave a comment below if this resonated. How Algebra 101 reading. We'd love to work with you on your spiritual path and journey. Peace.